Jason Rigby, ABQ Business Podcast, here live, ready to go, super excited. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Responses when we get into high pressure moments. When your boss comes to you and says, hey, I need you to do this and I need you to do this right now. Majority of us have a fight or flight response. We're like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. You know, we second guess ourselves. We think we're not good enough. We think that this is too above our level. We have, especially when we get a new job and there's new tasks, there's new things to do, and there's a pressure that you may get fired. And you know that maybe you've been in a job for a while, but you forget that feeling that you had. And now you're an expert. It's easy for you now, but when you first started, it was extremely difficult. And you were super stressed, super freaked out. And sometimes you get that in whatever it may be, whatever type of challenge that you get. Well, Admired Leadership talked about reframing nervous energy. And it talked about these high pressure moments is actually telling us, the body is telling us we're ready to perform. Now we, in this comfort zone that we live in, everything's 72 degrees and super relaxing, and we get our lattes and have our our lunches delivered to us. We're not used to this sensation and changes to our body. So immediately when our body begins to respond to any type of stress because we're so conditioned to comfort, guess what's happened? We began to try to suppress stress. And I think a lot of mental illness, I'm not saying all of it, but I think a lot of it is this suppression. Pretending like everything is okay. Trying to live this Instagram life that's put out there for you, that's unrealistic. Even the people that are posting that, they've proven over and over again that a lot of stuff is either staged or fake or using filters. None of it is real. Real life is you being put in high pressure situations. And you have to decide for yourself, am I going to perform or am I not? Am I going to fold and quit? Or I'm going to step up to the situation and do this to the best of my ability? Now, for me, how I react to this, I just had this. This is why it's so interesting. A few days ago, I had a situation. I was tasked to do something that I honestly felt like it was way over my intellectual level. I mean, this was like high level, something like I had to put together something a paper that I didn't think that I could do. But I always tell myself this: what is my best version of me, my inner self, that knows? And we can get spiritual however you want. And if you want to understand this more, I encourage you to listen to my other podcast, Higher Density Living. Alexander McKagan and I talk about a lot of this spiritual, in the sense of reframing all this spiritually. But I always ask myself, like, my higher self, how would it respond in this situation? That's how I like calm myself down, relax. I don't suppress anything. Never try to say, if you're feeling sad, embrace it, love it. And if you need to cry, go someplace privately and cry. Maybe shut your door, whatever it is. This suppressing of emotions, we were given emotions for a reason. If you're an extremely emotional person, that's a good thing. Not very many people have that power in the world. And you said power, what do you mean? Well, you can play victim to the gifts that you were given, or you can take control of them and learn how to wield them like a wizard. We all watch, all these different wizard shows and stuff like that. And they get these new tools, Harry Potter, whatever it may be, and they don't understand how to use the power. That's what you got to do. You've got to get into training and say, okay, I'm part of 1% of the world that has a ton of emotions, and most people don't, but I have a shitload. So you know what I'm going to do? I understand, because that's rare, that's a superpower. So what can I do with these emotions to use them in power to benefit myself and others? Not that you're a victim, like, oh, I hear this all the time. I'm an empath. And since I'm an empath, I'm a victim to this, and this. You're not a victim to anything unless you choose through your thoughts to become that. I refuse to be a victim to anything. I'm going to take 100% responsibility for everything in my life. The good, so Paul's good and the bad. You know what the bad is? It's just a catalyst. It's a learning lesson. That's all it is. Because in the worst times of our lives, that's where we learn the most. We know this. These stressful, high-pressure moments are gifts. And you need to rewire yourself and say, ha, 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 this is me now being able to use my superpower. So how can I do this? Am I going to be the wizard that has uncontrolled power and don't know what to do? Or am I going to take this energy, this superpower that only I have, this unique ability, and I'm going to put all of this energy into this project, into this job, into this relationship, and I'm going to watch what's going to happen. If you do that, if you are in touch with your inner higher self, and you get to become super self-aware of emotionally, mentally, how you react to things, and then you begin to get out of victim mode and begin to get in this powerful creator mode, creativity, creating, it will change your life dramatically. Science has proven this. We know this, the way that our thought processes are and what we think about. 90,000 thoughts a day, and 70,000 of them are negative. That's what science says. Think about that. What if we got half and half? Imagine that. Majority of people, majority of the time, are thinking negative. It's the fight or flight, the ego, the evolution, running in the savannah, away from the cheetah. It's seeking comfort and getting away from stress. What if you said, I want stress? I need it, because that gives me the playing field for me to use my superpowers. I want to be on that battlefield. And you don't need to do this all the time. Yes, take rest, relax. You know, everything in seasons. Just as we see creation, everything in seasons. It's very important. But we need to understand when your brain sends out that loud message of, oh my God, I'm going to freak out. Everything's going to go haywire. You have an option. You can suppress it or you can welcome it. That's up to you. So, one of the things that I like to do, Admired Leadership talks about this too, is get excited. Tell yourself, ooh, I'm feeling these, like, I got to go speak in front of some people and I'm feeling nervous. Actually, I'm excited. I'm excited to speak in front of them. This emotion that I'm feeling right now is just excitement. Because after I get done speaking, I'm going to be so jacked up. It's the same way, you got to look at the end in mind. Stephen Covey talks about that. Always look at the end in mind before you do something. I'm going to be super happy after I get done speaking. Guess what else is going to happen? I know if I go to the gym, after the gym and my endorphins kick in, I'm going to be able to handle situations better. I'm going to be more calm. I'm going to feel amazing. I go to the gym, then take a shower. I am like Superman. I feel like Superman and I can take on the world and do a ton of projects. So I have to think about the end in mind and how that feels, not the time that I'm hating doing the cardio and weightlifting in the gym. Not when I'm getting stressed out, so I just eat something bad. I want to think of the end in mind, and I want to take that moment right then and there and say, guess what? This is a time for me to pull out the magic wand, my superpowers, and show what type of wizard I am. And I encourage each of you, begin to reframe your stress. Take it from negative to positive, and I guarantee you will begin to perform at your best.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.